Good evening, everyone. Racing. We are here in Season 10 for class here tonight in Monaco once again this week. We've seen two amazing races already in silver and golden class this week in Monaco. Obviously for so many different reasons, and and race around here. So another thing that's gonna make it very special for you guys tonight is the commentator team. It's myself, BLIN-MACHINE, again as always in platinum class for this season, but making his return is somebody that a lot of these platinum class drivers will be very, very happy to hear, as well as all of our viewers. Mr. JB is back. Welcome back.
Hello from lockdown England.
All right, it's an absolute pleasure to have you with us tonight, and it's at Monaco. Tell us what you're expecting here tonight.
It's tight, it's twisty, we're definitely going to get a few safety cars tonight, and the fact is, it's raining here in qualifying. The drivers are going to be struggling. I'm just looking at failed UX right now, who just locked up heading into the chicane before to back. That's on the stretch already. We've got 17 minutes of qualifying. This is going to be tight to even get drivers to finish qualifying.
Yeah, we had a full wet qualifying in the silver class this week as well, so we've got another wet qualifying session to watch in platinum class. We're not sure what the race is going to be like. Of course, we don't get the full forecast, so we just have to stay with whatever we have at the moment, and we'll see what ends up happening in the race. I'm watching as Flip-Flop Fish here is coming through Massenet and into Casino very, very slowly and very carefully. It looks like there's barely any grip, but he does set a purple sector through the first one right now, and we'll have to wait and see for some more time. And who is that?
Failed UX hitting the wall at Sandoval. Unfortunately, that will be his qualifying run over. He's got to be careful with the yellow flag causing. We've got Alpha Tauri coming up behind him of Kersey. That was close. Alright, see, he's got no front downforce. He's just crashing into the wall everywhere he can. Not Failed UX's fault. Not a bad driver at all. At any stretch of the imagination, just really struggling with the Alfa Romeo's front end right now. Ooh, crikey, that's a Sebastian Vettel line there.
And I'm watching as Kersey is making his way around for his first hot lap, and he is all over the place as well, but he did set a purple first sector so far. And of course, as a reminder, Kersey, the last winner of the last 2 Grand Prix in a row. He won in Australia, he won in Netherlands. He's now sitting in 2nd place in the standings, right behind Sequid. Sequid has 148 points, Kersey 126. Sean 124, but unfortunately he's not able to continue for the rest of the season, so that pretty much rules him out. And then massive gap to go to guy at 81 points. So Kersey's in a really good spot. If he can continue on this momentum that he's had over the last couple of weeks, he's going to be in a beautiful spot for the rest of the season.
Kersey is definitely in a good bit of momentum right now, but he has to be careful not to mess it up. You can have momentum, yes, but you've got to know what you're doing. Purple sector, that will be fine, but whether he's got the setup base for the wet, we don't know. This could all go wrong in the race.
And so far, Kersey is a provisional pole with a 124.043, just beating out Chatty Duck by about 60 thousandths of a second there. That is very, very close gaps. Flip-Flop Fish setting in 3rd, Tasmanian Devil in 4th, KGB Black Angel in 5th. I'm seeing pieces of front wings all over the entry into the hairpin right after Maribor out there. And yeah, I don't know how many more we're gonna see, but JB, you mentioned you're expecting a few safety cars. Tell our viewers exactly what it's down to around this track. What's the reason for that?
This track is completely unchanged since the 1920s when they started racing here. Very little runoff, very drivers will get frustrated, and we saw it earlier on in TCR a long time ago and through the tunnel there. I just saw on Black Angel's POV. That tunnel is dry and these drivers are on wet tyres. They're going to struggle with grip through there. But the big thing is frustration at this track. We saw it a while ago at the TCR Grand Prix a few seasons ago, where someone tried to make a move towards the final sector, and it all went wrong, taking out about 4 cars in one quick succession. You need to be calculated, you need to be smooth, you need to know what you're doing around this track.
Absolutely, and one thing I'm just noticing now, I do not see Sequid on the board. He's not in the lobby. our championship leader is not, well, at least at the moment, racing in Monaco tonight. So if Kersey has anything that he can do, this is the time, and he just did it. A 122.8 to put himself even closer to pole position at the moment. I was just watching there as TCR 007 was doing a pretty good lap, but is only good enough for 7th right now. Failed UX is out there for an outlap, and is that him crashed in the entry? Yeah, he is stopped. Completely dead. He was letting somebody through, but I think he touched the wall. That was a very weird place to stop.
I think currently Kersey's biggest enemy in this race so far is himself. Even before the race has begun, he wants to be on a certain strategy. He wants to get right. But Kersey is a driver that is incredibly fast, but can trip himself up, and we don't want to see that tonight.
Absolutely, and I was very much surprised. Last week we had quite a few, last night we had quite a few overtakes on track, which is very surprising for Monaco, but people make mistakes, and the other drivers were always ready to pounce. I'm expecting a lot more of the same here tonight. Just to run through the rest of the standings on the board right now. So I did mention Go-To-Guy in 4th place with 81 points. Seafreeze in 5th with 70. Tasmanian Devil 66 points. 007 is at 60 points. KGB Black Angel 50. Mebi in 9th place with 46. And FYKV 45 points in 10th place right now. Those are the top 10 in the championship. So a very close battle all the way from 10th, I would say, all the way up to about 5th or 6th. And oh my goodness, there, as we were watching, Flip Flop Fish completely missed the corner, switching into neutral and smashing into the wall. And he's going to have to go back into the pits there. That was not a very good lap from him. But we still got quite a bit of time left. 10 minutes to go in the session, and a lot of people have set their times already. So we're still going to have some time for a lot more of them to set maybe even quicker times. We don't even know what's going on with the weather.
Alfa Romeo is swapping positions in the tunnel. It does seem that they're all struggling. A few of the Ferrari power cars seem to be struggling a lot in this race, barring the Haas. Oh, big lock up there for failed UX into the chicane. No hybrid energy coming off the failed, though. That's interesting. He's not trusting the hybrid. Around here, you really can't. It's a lot to manage. There's a lot of corners in such a short lap. I mean, look at this. It's 122. And whoa, we didn't want to do what Esteban Ocon did in 2017 there. He's all okay, though. He's not made a mistake.
So Kersey still holding on to that provisional pole position with a 122.8, a very impressive. Flip Flop Fish switching over to a soft tire while he's in the pits. There might be weather clearing up later.
Teasing us.
And KGB Black Angel, so far he's just finished the first sector, and that was a purple sector. He's now coming through, geez, I always forget that corner. Portier, there we go. Portier, and into the tunnel, and down into the Nivelle chicane now. Let's watch from on board here, slowing down very carefully. Does not want to lock up into there, and almost kissing the outside wall. Now coming into my most hated corner on the whole calendar to back, and there he goes, just touching the outside wall just a tiny little bit. Did not see any pieces falling off. KGB Black Angel still trying to push on this lap, but the car is just dancing all over the track. It is looking absolutely horrible in terms of conditions out there.
Yellow flag on the pit straight. Not sure who that's for. Here comes Angel. Whoa, he can't put the power down on the straight though. Look at that.
But still good enough for second place, 123.4, and so far he's the closest one to Kersey. Chatty Duck is very close behind, still sitting in the pits. 007, I don't think he's pushing right now. Tasmanian, is he on a hot lap?
The Marto is a second up in Sector 2. Here he goes. Heading towards the final couple of corners now, braking hard. This is such an awful corner because it widens up and it tightens straight back up. This is obviously where Michael Schumacher controversially took pole position in 2005, I think. Coming along the line.
Well, he had a breakdown.
He had a breakdown, yeah, and I'm bored.
I remember that one very clearly, and how he was trying to fight it off after in the in the press conference, oh, I broke down, I couldn't get it into gear, it wouldn't move, just acting a fool all over the place. But there's none of that here tonight. I'm sure our Platinum class, our top elite of TCR, are not going to be playing those sort of games. And now watching as Mick Marcotti locks up into the Marabou and now into Hairpin. Oh my goodness, very wide there, just missing the wall on the outside. And this is... Sorry, go ahead.
Interesting from Mick, though. He's using the hybrid energy. So if you watch the hybrid energy on the steering wheel is depleting as he drives towards the chicane, and the Red Bull driver evidently very smooth, big lock up there on the front, but he's fine with the steering wheel, and that's a huge advantage here. Steering wheel versus pad users have got such an advantage with the little micro changes you do on the wheel. You see how little the wheel's changing throughout the lap for Mick. He's very comfortable with this setup. He's a little bit uncomfortable with the fact that it's wet, but I think it might be a dry race.
And one thing to point out, if you notice, it's not raining anymore, or there's just a couple of, drops here and there. It is definitely starting to dry out, so maybe Flip Flop Fish is not just teasing us. Maybe he's just waiting it out until that weather clears up, and maybe there's a clear patch to go onto a dry tire right towards the end of the session. Now, if you are gonna do that as a driver, do you go on a soft or a hard or a medium? What's the best compound to go onto straight from wet?
The best compound tends to be the harder compound, so the hards or the mediums. I'd go mediums because it sets you more up for the race. As there's a dog in the background, is he looking very comfortable in your commentary booth?
You can hear him in the background. Yeah, he's
socially distanced, obviously, because I'm over in the British one.
Yeah, it's my cat and my dog. They like to play on our bed whenever I'm doing commentary streams.
And then when you're off the streams, you like to play on the bed.
Good one, JB. A nice zinger to come back.
Oh, I've been away too long. I'm looking at Sea Freeze right now. As he exits the tunnel, there's definitely no rain in the air now, but heading into Nobel, there's a lot of... Whoa, that might be a bit optional there. There's a lot of spray off the tyres. No, he's heading to pit lane, I think, this time round. He's delayed any chance. The AlphaTauri looking for new... Oh, no, purple sector 2. He may complete this lap time and then go in. But this could throw up a massive spanner into Kersey's plans of becoming a triple race winner in one quick succession.
Let's see here, Seafreeze just rounding up the last corner now. I think it's the only corner that does not have a name on this track, and now coming across the line, it's only good enough for 11th, so even though he was really quick there in the second sector, he wasn't very quick anywhere else, I guess. Mick is still continuing on a intermediate tire. He's pretty quick there through the first sector. He's just improved his own time by just a few thousandths of a second. Coming around the hairpin now. Let's see what he can do. The only people that are out on an outlap right now are still running the intermediate tires. There's 3 and a bit minutes to go, or just under 4 minutes to go in qualifying. I can't wait to see if anyone is going to jump on the dry tire right towards the end here. There's still spray coming off, but there's no more new rain coming down.
It'd be brave of them to do it now. I'm looking at Seagrass right now, and he's gone purple in Sector 1. It's definitely improving. Seagrass crashing in the tunnel. Just lit at the rear end there, and the Renault, unfortunately, no trouble there. And into the front, into the wall, and unfortunately that's going to be qualifying over for him, at least for this run.
Alright, so Mick is gonna pit from that lap. It's still good enough for 8th. Fike now is continuing on for another lap on 4-lap old intermediate tires, but now there's a couple of people who switched on to that soft. Tasmanian Devil and Flip Flop Fish both have a soft tire fitted to the car, but they are still in the pits there. Oh my goodness, Fike there pretty much gliding right on the wall in, what was that, turn 5 or turn 4 in Casino. That was very close, really almost kissing it there. 007 is coming out of the pits now on another set of intermediates. This could be very tricky. I mean, those people who come out on intermediates and are going to be super slow might get into the way of those who are going to be on the soft tire and trying to blow past everyone else being super quick. That's only assuming that the soft tire and the dry tires are actually going to do anything in these sort of conditions right now.
If you're going to do it now. That's what I'm saying now. If you're going to go out on the soft and risk it, go it now. I say for drivers that haven't set lap times, M9, Seagrass should go out on the softs or on the mediums just to go, what the hell? What does it matter? I'm at the back anyway.
Flip-Flop Fish is the first one to do what you were asking there. He's out for his outlap on a soft tire. Let's see what he's going to be able to do here. We'll switch on board with him just a second. I just want to see what sort of time is Fike going to do. He's currently sitting in 9th. He only jumps up one position to 8th with a 124.3. JB also wanted to mention, Stephen Jones says hello and welcome back, JB.
Oh, don't get excited, Steve.
All right, let's see here. Flip-Flop Fish on those soft tires. He has no traction whatsoever. He is trying to keep the car together around the hairpin, but it is not looking great, to be honest, from where we're sitting. Only over a minute to go here. I don't even know if anybody else is going to come out now out of the top 4.
Oh, crikey, big siphon W there. Unfortunately, we're at the awful position of seeing that both tires are not ready. Go out on the mediums or go out on something else, but neither tires are confused. We're right at the crossover point between the slicks and the grooves intermediate tyres. So the intermediate runners are struggling, the soft tyres are struggling, neither can keep temperature in the tyres. What are we going to do?
So Flip-Flop Fish completely missing corners here. I think he's going to go back into the pits. I don't think he can get any sort of braking or any sort of temperature, and there he goes, smashing into the last corner. So that is going to be our question answered about the dry tires. They are not ready for the conditions here yet. We will continue on with the intermediates, but now it means that only 007 and Go-To Guy are the only two people that can possibly change anything in the top 4. Currently, it's Kersey on top, Tasmanian Devil in 2nd, KGB Black Angel in 3rd, Chatty in 4th. Go-To Guy just went purple in Sector 1. And that is going to be very interesting to see. Oh my goodness, there the car is stepping out on him left and right at the same time as he's trying to catch it right into the hairpin. 007 crosses the line. He's going to stay 5th with a 123.5. Go-To Guy is the only one who can make something happen here. Going through the tunnel now. He's going to be coming out onto the Nouvelle Chicane. This is a hard corner, locking up almost both of the tires there, especially on the front, and making it through there. Let's see, he's going to make it through to the end of the 2nd sector in just a moment here. Around to back, it's purple again, and he's purple by quite a bit, by almost 7/10. That is an incredible gap. Let's see if he can keep that one going through the last couple of corners here. This is Raskas, and this corner actually does have a name. It's Anthony Nogue. And as he now runs down to the line, Go-To Guy, where is this going to put him? He does get pole. 122.755.
Old tires.
7-lap-old intermediate tires for Go-To Guy. Puts himself onto pole position for the race with a 122.7. Kersey drops down to 2nd. Tasmanian to 3rd. KGB in 4th. Chatty Duck in 5th. Do we have anybody else still running? W is coming around Raskas now and into the last corner and onto the straight, down to the line. W moves up one position up into 8th place, and that's going to be it for qualifying.
He'll be in 9th. Mick just pipped him at the end.
Oh, nice. Go-To Guy, Kersey in 2nd. Tasmanian Devil in 3rd, KGB in 4th, Chatty in 5th, 6th goes to 007, Flip-Flop Fish in 7th place, Mick Marcotti stealing away 8th from W, very, very late there, so W drops down to 9th, Fike in 10th, GTR Lion in 11th, we have Failed in 12th, who's in the other Ferrari? I'm not sure because it's not showing for me for some reason, Damaso in 14th. M9H in 13th, Damaso in 14th, Seafreeze in 15th, and Seagrease is going to be starting right at the back of the grid after crashing. You said it was in the tunnel, was it?
Yeah, he didn't total the car, but he chose to retire the car after a heavy hit in the tunnel.
Alright, so apparently we're moving on to qualifying 2. I completely forgot to mention. We have full qualifying here in Monaco, just for the Platinum class. So let's get ready for Q2. So that means that all of our top
I didn't
15,
sign up for this.
all of our top 15 drivers made it through to this session now, and we're gonna have 15 more minutes of qualifying now in much drier looking conditions. I do still see a little bit of what looks to be, you know, dust or a little bit of spray on the pit lane there, but I'm sure the road is going to be nice and clean and dry.
That's Mercedes throwing sand out to make sure that the drivers slip as they come up the pit lane. Failed UX, the first driver out onto the grid, the 88 car. No, it's not Robert Kubica, it is Failed UX.
And on the intermediate tires, so I guess he wants to try out the conditions first before...
Oh, these are slick conditions.
Well, I do still see spray coming off of his tires as he's making his way right now up into Massenet. There's definitely some spray left out on track right now.
It's not that much. And look, you got to balance it out now. There's spray on track, yes. And then there's the situation where you're locking up at every corner, and then you're losing it in the tunnel. I'd go on slicks now. I'd go out, brave it for a couple of laps, and then go back in. But then again, I'm not a racing driver. I just shout about them online.
And just want to throw out a big thank you to everybody who's already joined up on our stream. Thank you guys so much. Get those comments rolling in. Leave us a like. That will really help out for other viewers to reach the channel and reach this video. Oh my goodness! Failed UX hits the inside wall onto the entry to corner 11 in the Nouvelle chicane. Just taps the back wheel, goes for a little bit of a spin, corrects the car back onto the track, and he's still fine, doesn't have any damage. So that was just a little bit of a tryout, but it looks like, oh, almost losing the car there through the pool section, almost not making it through the last corner. He's going back into the pits.
Showing off now.
Yeah, drifting into the pits.
That's easily done. That corner into Nouvelle. It's easily done to think you're through and forget the car that doesn't finish behind your head. Actually, the first time I ever went go-karting, I don't think I've ever told this story. The first time I ever went go-karting, I was told, you know, if you're going to overtake someone, remember that the kart is wider at the back than it is at the front. Now, bearing in mind I was 13 years old and thought I was Michael Schumacher. I didn't do that. So I went to overtake someone in a corner that was very much like Nouvelle, and I ended up flying over their kart and then flying backwards and landing upon the front of their kart, thinking what the hell had just happened. Looking back on it, I'm an idiot. But yeah, so that's easily done to forget how wide the back end of the kart is, or back end of, in this case, the Formula 1 car is, forgetting where it is. But you always have to remember the car does not finish behind your head.
That's a good analogy there, and a good one to remember for our drivers. KGB
DRS.
Black Angel is still having. Was DRS enabled?
Yeah, just announced DRS has been enabled by the FIA, or C3 is pressing a button. Is that on board now? DRS. So
weirdly
that is the
enough,
telltale sign.
Weirdly enough, KGB Black Angel is still having trouble making it around here on an intermediate tire. Is that just because it's too dry now for those?
Yeah. Drivers that come out now on the intermediates will probably pit straight away and head straight for the slick tires now. Remember, these are the tires they're going to start the race on, so they don't want to knacker them too much, and they don't want to ruin any time they have on these tires for the first time to get slick running.
And we do have a couple of drivers out there on the soft tire already. We're watching as Damaso barely made it through the hairpin there on this outlap. A little bit tricky from him. Tasmanian Devil still out there on an intermediate tire. So people are trying all kinds of different things, just seeing what can work, what doesn't. KGB Black Angel sets the first fastest lap with a 1:23.7 on an intermediate tire, but now there's more and more drivers out there about to start their laps on a soft. The first of which is going to be 007. JB, you want to walk us through a lap here?
Oh, crikey, do I? Yeah, I will. So, heading along now onto the start-finish straight, heading towards Standard Block. We want to line up the car pretty much towards the left. You're going to get the DRS line here, so a pretty slow start to the lap. into the bus lane, because he's driving a Racing Point and has copied the bus this time, crossing the line into Sandoval. Now you want to aim for the wall, but turn at the latest moment. You've managed to get it right. A little bit hesitant on the throttle this time round, but this gets tighter and tighter and tighter as they run up towards Casino Square. You want to go wide, you want to aim to hit the hotel, as Graham Hill used to say, but then flick to the right and not hit the hotel. Now, avoid that bump heading into Mirabeau, braking hard. Don't be Nico Rosberg, didn't do that this time round. And whatever you do, do not be Manavir Ragduafen into the Lowe's hairpin now. Or it was Lowe's hairpin, I think they changed it.
Casino hairpin now.
Casino now. Now into Jensen Button corner, as I called it, where he destroyed Pascal Wehrlein. Love JB though. Heading into the tunnel, this iconic sound echoing, resonating throughout the racing cars. Can you imagine standing there or being a marshal thinking, don't crash! Into Nobel, want to brake hard and not do what we saw earlier on in qualifying. All very good. Heading up third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, flicking right into back. And then through swimming pool. Oh, that's very quick, very wide. Want to stay a little bit wider through there. Don't be Max Verstappen here. It's all okay. And whatever you do, not be Marcus Ericsson. Final corner now. Want to just thread the needle through here easily. If you mess up one side or another, you will make a mistake and across the line. First soft running with C. It's going to be a quick lap time of 1:20.6.
Nice and quick there, but definitely not as quick as you could usually go in Monaco on a dry set of tires. So maybe the conditions will improve towards Q3 so we can really see the drivers pushing for some of the times that we saw here last night, 108s, 109s. It was very, very impressive. So still a long way to go. Yeah, it was...
it's Mick making a mistake of it. At the top of Casino, heading towards Massenet, he just heading towards Mirabeau. He's seriously buckled the front end of the car. He's going to have to head into pit lane. Oh, that's not very good. At least he's driving Max's car, not Alex's.
I think 007 is going for another lap on those soft tires, because he seems to be pushing, definitely using his ERS as well. That is turned on, so yeah, I think he's trying to push for another one, another purple second sector for 007, and that was by over a second and a half. So that is getting nicer and nicer and closer. Yeah, that was definitely nice and close there. Almost hitting the wall through the last corner as well, but threading the needle, as JB called it there. Coming up to the line now, improving to 118.9, so that is much quicker. His teammate GTR Lion in second right now with a 121.5, and Chatty Duck is another one that's coming out there on soft tires. We have quite a few people now coming out on the soft tire and trying to put in some good laps.
I think the main thing that we'll see right now in this session will be confidence with the tyres. Drivers will be unconfident after spending the entirety of Q1 struggling. We have a car off at the back end of Mirabeau, and that is the racing, not Racing Point, it is the Alfa Romeo. Someone won't cause anyone any trouble, as Nico Rosberg chose to back in 2015. Yeah, 15. But yeah, the drivers are going to be very unconfident. It's very difficult to switch your mindset from wet to dry in less than 10 minutes. Luckily, a few drivers are already getting on that curve. He's about to cross the line. He's going to be fastest.
And by quite a margin there as well, by second, 1.8 seconds. He's going for another run.
He got the rear tyres though on the run up towards run up to Casino.
Yeah, it almost looked like he tapped the wall there, but I think he just managed to hold it together. He's going to finish the first sector now, purple again by just about a tenth. But it could have been even more if he didn't have that moment coming through turn one, making it through the hairpin, riding that curb very, very nicely. One thing to mention, we are running the strict corner cutting rules here tonight. So even though all the walls and everything is very close, there are a couple of places where you can gain warnings and penalties very quickly. Kersey's coming up to one of those moments right here. It is the Novell chicane, getting a really nice tight run through there. There's another yellow for a McLaren that's had a moment. And purple again, sector 2 is for Kersey. Now just a couple more corners to go into Rascasse. Beautiful left-hander there, and another right into the last corner. Opens up the DRS, running down to the line. It's another purple, 116.436.
it's not going to be not quite as quick as Kersey's lap time, but Chatty Duck has put some amazing slides on through his lap. The Haas is about to cross the line, it's going to be P2.
1:17.0, quite close there to Kersey, about 0.6 of a second separating them. Now watching M9H Racing, he's making it through Massenet and into Casino now. Oh my goodness, why am I messing up all these corner names now? Into Maribor.
You've been on the source.
And now coming into the hairpin as well. He got a really quick run through the hairpin. I noticed a lot of drivers take different lines through there. Some of them hug the inside while others take a little bit of a later entry and sort of try to get a better exit out of the corner. So that will be interesting to see in the race. We've seen some moves being made there last night and they didn't quite work out. M9H Racing just running through the Nouvelle Chicane completely, invalidating his lap.
C-Freeze by 4 attempts takes pole position right now, or P1 in this session, was incredibly quick and incredibly confident through Sector 2, and that is where drivers are losing out on time right now.
And only just under 4 minutes to go in Q2. So if anybody wants to make a move, it's going to be coming down to just the last couple of minutes to go out on track and put in some quick times. W is on a hot lap right now, and he runs in the Nouvelle Chicane as well. And that's invalidated his lap. So I'm not sure if those drivers are doing that by accident, if they're doing it on purpose, if they're...
that was on purpose. There was there's no way he was making that corner on purpose.
Yeah, so probably couldn't make his braking.
Is that he's inherited the number 45 from when Jones drove in Platinum.
And funnily enough, that's also my number in silver.
One of my backup numbers actually in racing. I always have backup numbers. I have about 6 or 7 numbers. Always go for number 13 because I was born in 13th. It's tattooed on me. I've always liked the way the shape looks. But yeah, 45's on there. Failed UX has just gone purple in Sector 1.
Very impressive there for Failed UX. I was just going to mention 007 is about to start another lap on a medium tire here. So
yeah,
maybe that's
about the future Aston Martin drivers. They're not got pink helmets, so I've got to have words with them.
Maybe they are going to be trying to make it through into Q3, sorry, just on those medium tires, so they can make it into the race and start the race on those tires. That would be quite interesting to see. Maybe that's a strategy call.
Failed UX unfortunately invalidated his lap time at Nouvelle. Frike is actually on a lap time in the Ferrari.
And 007 just set a purple first sector, doing a very nice job on those medium tires compared to others on the soft, but we're still far away from those times that we saw here last night, so I'm sure there's more pace to find.
Looking now professional. Oh, that's a clinical move there. You see how he sliced through there like a surgeon. Absolutely flicking the wheel, no trouble there as he flicks towards Sector 2 purple once more, flicking now towards the final portion of the track towards Anthony Nodes, and it's so wide, so we want to stay away from those barriers as much as possible. We're going to have to kiss one at some point though. DRS opening now on the racing point. The pink Mercedes is going to be P1. Where's the other one? He's going to be P2, is he? He is P2. It's currently an Aston Martin lockout. Oh, hey, clicking the barrier there for Lion.
Oh, Fike just split the two Force. I was just about to call them Force Indians. Racing points.
Crash damage. Damage for Frike. He's not going to be able to compete this lap time now. I think he panicked. So he's panicking now, trying to let people through.
And a lot of people are going for their second laps right off the bat as well. 007 is one of them. He's continuing on for another hot lap. He tapped the wall there coming into, what is that one, Maribor. Yeah, he's continuing on so far through the Nouvelle Chicane right now, about to finish the second sector right after to back here, flicking it to the left. Oof, such a close one. He is up by a second on his own best time. He's dropped down to third place right now, but he might be able to improve. A lot of people crossing the line right now and improving. KGB Black Angel 114.0 with a medium tire. Tasmanian 114.0 as well. Those two guys jumped to the front two positions.
He's getting traffic on his lap. He's going to be frustrated. W is right in the way, and obviously W is also on a lap time, so he can't complain. But Tasmanian, with a fantastic helmet, I must say, is very much going to be frustrated in that lap. He got about 4 cars heading into the casino hairpin, and he had no clue what to do. He just couldn't get through.
So 007 did steal pole position for now with a 113.8, or not pole position at the moment, but at least first position in this Q2. We are going to be moving on to Q3 as well.
Because he's out qualifying 3. He's not going to be making it to qualifying 3.
Oh no, he's dropping down the positions. He's down to 12th now as well. So Kersey, not a very good qualifying in Q2 here. I'm watching as Tasmanian Devil. No, he's going into the pits. He's not gonna finish out that lap. What about Go-To Guy? He's opening up his DRS, running down to the line. Where's Go-To Guy gonna go? Up into first.
I think Kersey's gonna be 15th. He is. He's going to be 15th. All 9 has to do is complete a lap time right now. And, well, okay, he's going to be 14th now.
He's just invalidated.
Absolute hatred. And Kersey is going to be absolutely livid. What can C-Freeze do? C-Freeze also in the danger. And can he push Fike out of qualifying 3? He's going to cross the line now. It's very likely he will. In Fike is out of qualifying 3.
And that is the fastest time in Q2 as well. 1:13.0. Quicker by almost a 1/10.5. Very, very impressive from C-Freeze. Right in the dying seconds there of qualifying. There's only, I think, a couple of people that are still running out there. But this is exactly how it's going to end. So it means that we're going to lose M9H Racing in 15th, Kersey in 14th, Failed UX in 13th, Damaso in 12th, and Fike in 11th place.
That's put a massive dent in Kersey's chances of winning this race. He's going to have to do some major work today, and unfortunately in the pack at Monaco, that's exactly where you don't want to be.
Yeah, as I mentioned, this was a great night and a good chance for Kersey to try and catch up on the points, but now he's going to have a lot of work to do. He's going to be in 14th place, but it's looking like C-Freeze got the best position there in Q2 with a 1:13.0. 007 was second, Go-To Guy third, Chatty Duck fourth, KGB Black Angel fifth, Tasmanian sixth, GTR Lion 7th, Mick Marcotti 8th, W 9th, Flip Flop Fish was in 10th, and as I mentioned before, we're losing FYKV in 11th, Damaso in 12th, Failed UX in 13th, Kersey in 14th, and M9H Racing, who did not set a time, unfortunately invalidated right before the end of his second run there.
That was a difficult qualifying session. Obviously, with the changing conditions, drivers are very much like, oh, no, it's all gone wrong. Oh, and immediately Chatty Ducks jumped into the Discord saying that Go-To Guy's giving him a heart attack. Mick complaining of wheel problems. Go-To Guy immediately questioning it. I love that we're doing this at night as well. I think Monaco at night is a spectacle that should be done anyway.
Absolutely, and we've selected midnight for the race start, which will be beautiful with all these lights and all the buildings around and everything else with the boats in the bay. This Monte Carlo Monaco Grand Prix, it is just the best place you can be for a Formula One race. Like JB mentioned, being... Well, and I would say Canada, right? we all have our own favorites, but if I had to pick any one race that I could go to, it would definitely have to be Monaco. I mean, being, as you mentioned, being in that tunnel or anywhere near it when those cars are going through, oh my god, I just cannot imagine what that would be like. I saw pictures from last night before I got into the race. Just looking at some pictures of Monaco in real life, and there was one of them where a bunch of fans were just sitting on the hilltops of some of the hills here, and that's exactly what I would do. I mean, that would be incredible.
What's interesting is that you can, a while ago Sky F1 did this, other TV providers are available and all that, well, they were, but they did it where you could travel to Monaco for £90 and watch the Grand Prix from above the hill at the final part of the corner, just behind Anthony Nodes and the and the Raskas complex. That's going to be difficult to say. And it was £90 because it was a bus there. It was just a camping trip. So you just camped or had a little caravan. So it's interesting. You can do a Grand Prix on £90. For though, whenever I've gone to Grand Prix, I've always tried to get grandstand tickets. And I very much enjoyed the grandstands at Silverstone, mainly because I know that the next week after the Grand Prix, or 2 weeks afterwards, I'll be sat in my marshalling suit for the Silverstone Classic, which is always a fun bit. Honestly, I implore anyone that wants to come to UK, come and watch the Silverstone Classic. It's at the end of July. It's bloody hot, but it's bloody brilliant racing.
Yeah, I mean, I would absolutely love to attend any Grand Prix. Unfortunately, haven't had the chance to just yet. This was actually the year when I was planning to go to Montreal to watch the Canadian Grand Prix, and of course, COVID-19 absolutely ruined everything in terms of real life, Formula One, and everywhere else, and absolutely ruined my plans there as well. Ooh, Tasmanian Devil barely made it through the Nivelle chicane there. He's going to be the first one to set a lap time here in just a few moments. I see that Flip-Flop Fish is actually in front of him, but Tasmanian Devil purple right now in the second sector, coming into Raskas now. And Anthony Nogue in just a second, opening up the DRS, running down to the line. We have a couple of times of KGB Black Angel and Flip-Flop Fish, but Tasmanian Devil beats them both with a 109.9, and we are getting much closer now to those times that we see normally in Monaco under dry conditions. Seafreeze is about to cross the line, and he goes second with a 110.1. So everybody is pretty much crossing the line and running out there on track right now. Chatty Duck is going to be crossing in a second. Where is this going to put Chatty? Into third with a 110.3, and Go-To Guy is coming through to back into the swimming pool chicane.
Not particularly quick through here, is he?
No, not at all. I was going to say, it looks like he's pushing, but yeah, I think he's abandoning his lap. He's going into the pits now.
Just a note on Go-To Guy. I reckon his helmet is very much inspired by Juan Pablo Montoya. With the helmet arrangement and the colours. It reminds me a lot of Montoya, minus the chrome. There we go. And that's just alienated me with the rest of the crowd. Yes, I am that old.
So a couple of people invalidating their second runs. A few drivers decided to try and continue on, but I think everyone is going to be peeling into the pits right now. Not everyone, though. It looks like somebody is continuing there. Is that one Tasmanian Devil? He's going to cross the line again, but does not improve on his time. Is he going to push for another one? Was that a cooldown lap? I think it might have been. He is definitely still using his ERS, still pushing into Massenet and into Casino. Very close to the walls there, I have to say. I haven't seen anyone else come that close to the walls just yet. Finished the first sector, did not go faster than his own time there. And through the hairpin very cleanly and very quickly. Very nice camera shot that we're getting now from the top of one of the buildings there. Into the tunnel, Tasmanian Devil coming up into the Nivelle chicane one more time. He's the only one on track right now. Not sure if he's gonna carry on with this lap or if he's just gonna retire at the end. Barely making it there.
Satisfying through there, wasn't it?
And through to back, he is quicker in the second sector. I think he might push on to finish this lap. Very close to the walls everywhere around this lap. And coming around the last corner now, opens up the DRS. Let's see how much he'll improve by. If he does improve to a 109.654, so about 0.3 quicker than his previous lap time. Seafreeze is already out there again, so is KGB Black Angel. These drivers are not waiting around in this third qualifying session. We've only got 6 more minutes to go.
Tell you what, only 5 minutes alone. That was a, oh, I almost swore that. That was a very good lap. Very pleasing to look at as well, wasn't it?
Absolutely, it was very flowing, and he was just getting all of his car rotations and braking points very, very nicely there. Seafreeze on his outlap cuts the Nivelle chicane just to save himself some time. But only a couple of people out there.
I don't agree with that. I don't like it when we do that. Just cut tracks because, oh, it saves time. You know. Then again, I'm very particular with it.
Well, let's see what Seafreeze can do here now, going on to a hot lap into the first corner, very nicely through there. It's very easy to invalidate your lap right on the first corner under strict conditions. Now up the hill, into Massenet, and into Casino. Nice exchange of corners. I absolutely love those two corners when you get them perfectly right. All the way from turn 1, Beau Rivage, and all the way up to Casino there. It's just the best of runs that you could possibly get. Makes it really nicely through the hairpin now. And going down Portier into the tunnel. Pushing very, very quickly is Seafreeze, really trying everything he's got right now to try and snatch pole position. One thing we haven't really talked about is how important track position is at Monaco. That is the reason why we're running full qualifying here tonight for the Platinum class. I mean, JB, how hard is it to overtake here?
It's near enough impossible to overtake here. Look back at 2018, Daniel Ricciardo won the race on 40% power with his MG UK in the Red Bull, at the time, Tag Heuer Renault powered car. Failed. So he was driving at 40% less power than what he would normally have, so he had very little hybrid deployment from the car. And Sebastian Vettel in a fully fledged, at the time, and we'll say probably the best Ferrari for a long time, barring possibly 2019, the 2018 car, arguably the best Ferrari in a long time, could not overtake him at all. That's a testament to A, Daniel Ricciardo's amazing defensive strategies, and B, this track being near enough impossible to overtake at. And I mentioned frustration at the top of the show. Jenson Button got frustrated as he tried to overtake Pascal Wehrlein, and it ended up sending him above the air, into the air, earning him a 3-place grid penalty for the next race. Well, that penalty's never going to be taken. The Jenson Button is now away from Formula 1. Quick note though, if anybody wants to catch up with what Jenson's up to, just putting it up there, Jenson's actually racing in the British GT race this weekend at Silverstone, the Silverstone 500. And JB is going to be driving his own car in his own team. I have to mention that because his team's actually based in the town that I live.
There we go. That is so many cool things that you have in connection to Formula 1 and motorsports. I really wish I lived a little bit closer to the action so I can get involved as well. But just watching on board here with W, he's out for a lap. He's going pretty quick right now into the Deville chicane there. It is such a tough corner, but the toughest corner for me is this one to back. The car just wants to drift wide and just wants to hit that outside curb there. Oh my goodness, W almost doing a Max Verstappen, kissing that inside curb on the entry or on the exit of the pool section, and now through the last corner opens up the DRS. It's a pretty quick time. Let's see where it's going to put him though. Only into 6th place with a 110.8. Not too bad. Tasmanian Devil is out there on another lap, so he's just trying to secure that pole position as much as he can. Seafreeze is still in the pits with just under 2 minutes to go in Q3. I'm wondering, when is he going to come out onto the track?
I'm wondering when he comes out on the track and whether he's just going to stomp straight to winning the pole position away from everyone else. 3-lap-old tyres though. Remember, Devil just has to destroy these tyres because you won't be seeing them again this weekend. Rear end slipping there as he jumps over the curb in the black Mercedes.
And doing a little bit of a power drift through Rascasse. Running down to the line, is this going to be an improvement? It is not. He did a 109.731, so not going to improve. Seafreeze is out there on an out lap. Chatty Duck is about to start his lap. 007 is running on a hot lap as well. So is Mick Marcotti. This is going to be pretty much the last runs for most of these guys.
I think what's interesting is that Toto Wolff has announced that Mercedes will be running the black livery in 2021 as well. Is that a ploy to try and keep Lewis Hamilton in the car? Well, let's be honest. When Lewis Hamilton said, I might not be... Oh, Chatty Duck, seriously, that might be qualifying over for him, bumping the wall at Massenet. But I think when Lewis said that he wasn't going to be in Formula 1 next year, let's be honest, he's just looking for a bit more money.
We'll have to wait and see what he decides on signing that contract or not, but I want to see what Seafreeze is going to do on this lap now. He's just made it through Saint Devoux. going through Bourvage and up into Massenet. Now just gotta hug that inside curb before you switch the car to the right into Casino to the end of the first sector. He's down on his own personal time, but he's not quickest through that sector. Into the hairpin now, locking up the inside left wheel there just a tiny little bit. And now into the next part of Bourvage and into Portier. Or sorry, of the other part of Maribor and into Portier and under the tunnel. Seafreeze is pretty quick. He's quicker than his own time, but he's not quick enough to beat Tasmania at this point right now. Let's see how he's gonna do through Nouvelle Chicane there very nicely. Through to back and to the end of the second sector. Oh, Mick Marcotti has just crashed right in front of him, but he makes it nice and cleanly through there. Seafreeze is purple in the second sector, and now he's got traffic. GTR Lion on the last corner there, but that gets out of his way as well. Seafreeze running down to the line now. Is this going to be pole position for him? Yes, it is.
Oh, by a tenth of a second. Here comes Professional though. DRS opened on the racing point. Can he take that pole position away? It looks like he's going to. It's not going to be close though. We know it's not going to be Mick. Black Angel crossing line 7th. That is it. The race is over for pole. It goes to the Alpha Tauri that we didn't expect to be on pole position. We expected the other one. He loves Monaco, doesn't he?
Yeah, we were waiting for Kersey to try and deliver here tonight, but Seafreeze is going to be on pole position, lining up in front of the whole grid to go into turn 1, where it's going to be the tightest point of the whole race with everybody, all 20 cars, or I think we have 16 or 17 runners here tonight. They will all have to fit in through Saint Devote. That's going to be very, very interesting to see. But Seafreeze, beautiful time, 109.5. That gets him pole position.
Just be silent a minute for the highlight reel.
So let's run through those again. Seafreeze in first, Tasmanian Devil in second, TCR 007 is going to be in third, Traddy Duck in fourth, Mick Marcotti is fifth, Go-To Guy is going to start in sixth, KGB Black Angel in seventh, W in eighth, GTR Lion in ninth, and Flip Flop Fish is going to be rounding up the top 10. And yeah, as you mentioned, they'll be starting on the tires that they qualified on in Q2 and not these soft tires that they were using for Q3. Now, for the rest of the grid, though, what do you think in terms of strategy, or what's the best strategy to go on here?
It's always going to be an ideal one-stop race at this track. With the pronouncement of seeing Kersey further down, he's going to be wanting moves to be made, so he might be taking a bit more risk. He might head for the soft tyres and try and get the jump on other drivers, but remember, he'll have to pit early if he goes for that strategy. There's always the chance of front wing damage as well at this track. It's a heavy hitter for, just a reminder, no smoking in pit lane there on the sign on the left. I will eventually know where to go because I am the one driver in the world that will manage to turn left at Saint-Devote. But yeah, it's strategy, you got to make sure that you have it, but also be accountable for wing damage, possible safety cars, crashes, being Grosjean. Can we say the Grosjean joke now, or is it got to be called a George Russell? Because that would hurt if it is.
Yeah, I saw that video today with Julian Palmer going through all of those.
I don't like him.
I've seen all of those crashes today with Kimi Räikkönen having a little bit of a moment back in history and a couple of other drivers. But I just wanted to say as well, if you're just joining us right now on the stream, and a couple of people just did, thank you guys so much for tuning in to TCR, Trinity Competitive Racing. We are in Season 10, Round 11 in Monaco with the Platinum class. We are expecting to go onto the track here in just a few moments. We had a full qualifying session with Seafreeze taking pole position. So get ready. In the meantime, throw us a like and throw in some comments. Let us know. Do you think if Seafreeze is going to be able to hold that win here tonight? One thing that I've been asking throughout the week is how many safety cars do you think we're going to have in the race? So throw those into the comments. Let us know what else you're looking out for in this race, and we will get ready here in just a second as our drivers are figuring out their strategies, their starting setups, their fuel loads, and everything else like that. But
drivers are throwing their helmets at each other because they're annoyed.
I don't know about the drivers here in Platinum class, but boy, this was a very stressful time. sitting on the grid. They're getting ready for your formation lap in Monaco. It is nerve-wracking.
I think the fact that this... Oh, that's interesting. So I very rarely have the telemetry up on in Formula 1 race. I don't believe in it. But what I find interesting is that C3 has underfueled his car. If we see on the telemetry, I think you've got it up on stream, haven't you? He's got the yellow light on, so he's going for a very low fuel strategy, which is good in some ways because he'll be saving it throughout the race because he doesn't need to go full power at this track. But at the same time, if we did have a safety car, it would really help him out. But if he does push and he doesn't pay attention to it, as you so often have done where you leave the car in a high ERS mode or you leave the car in, ooh, that's shiny, didn't realise it did that.
Absolutely, and actually from driving here on Tuesday, I gotta say, I usually overfuel the car so I can use my rich mode a little bit more whenever I have to defend or overtake. But I overfueled the car. I had 2 extra laps, and I had to go into lean on some of the last laps. It was actually running out really quickly because even though you don't really use too much fuel here, you don't really run it completely flat out in 8th gear or anything else like that for long periods of time. You do use, especially in these new F1 2020 cars, you do use the engine braking quite a bit, and that means you downshift into certain corners, and that's when you sit there on the limiter, just blowing gas completely straight out of the pipe. So drivers got to be careful with that, and that might cause trouble later, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Just quickly running through the tire strategies, huge mix of strategies. C3 on soft, Tasmanian and 007 on mediums, then we have Chatty on soft, Mick Marcotti on medium, GoTo on soft, KGB on medium, W soft, GTR medium, flip-flop soft, and then from 10th down, everyone is starting on the medium tire. All the cars are lining up on the grid now. We're about to go racing in just a moment here.
I'm going to be on board with flip-flop fish further down because I think we're going to see some fun down there with the medium tire, with the soft tires on that car, take us through the race start.
And the lights go out now, and we go racing here in Monaco into turn 1. Tasmanian Devil is already challenging on Seafreeze. They go into turn 1. Tasmanian Devil gets the lead away from Seafreeze. Chatty Dog gets in front of, I think it was M9H, or no, sorry, GoTo Guy. So already a couple of position changes. Everybody makes it cleanly through the start of the race, through the first couple of corners. No incidents to report just yet. I know right now we've got the graphics tripping out a little bit. There we go, they've corrected themselves. So Seafreeze dropped down to 2nd, Chatty up into 3rd place, GoTo Guy down into 4th, 007 in 5th.
That was nasty there. Failed your X just being inside the side pod of W there. Sorry, of Damaso, and it almost went badly through Casino. But yeah, oh wait, already a change for lead again. Seafreeze back into the lead, fighting with Devil. Oh no, something's gone wrong between those two.
No
damage.
No damage to report just yet. I'm looking at their front wings and nothing just yet, but Seafreeze taking the lead back before the end of the first lap here in Monaco. He lost it right into turn 1 and then retook it, it looked like, into the Novelle chicane. Now I'm just watching here as KGB Black Angel has a really good run in 007 for the battle for 5th place, but nothing's gonna happen here yet. We don't even have the DRS enabled, so the only thing that drivers can do here to overtake at this point is just wait for the other driver to make a mistake. Kersey in 14th is really pressuring Failed UX right now. I'm gonna stay with him here for a couple of moments to see if anything's gonna happen.
M9 did not take the start of the race. Unfortunately, he's ghosted, so we will not see that Ferrari. Look at Kersey, he's right on the rain light of Failed UX, and unfortunately it's affecting him. He's going to chuck at the inside of Mirabeau, deciding not to.
Into the hairpin they go now. Failed UX is definitely slower than Kersey at this stage of the race, and Kersey is losing a lot of time. There's some gaps already starting to form between all the cars because, of course, following behind another car here and trying to overtake is just nearly impossible. So it's getting very much heated up. It's going to be very close between a lot of people in these starting stages here. We're on lap 2 of 39. We have a long way to go, and it's been a very exciting start with the lead changing and then changing back again. So Seafreeze still leading the race right now as we're coming to the end of lap 2.
Seafreeze will have to pit earlier than Tasmanian. Tasmanian might have more strategy up the inside of Ras Cassidy. Considered it. separated. Kersey not further along though. He needs to be aware of where his car is. Heading into Sandevot now, this should be a very clinical move. DRS in effect. Kersey going to come up the inside of Failed UX. Going to do his best to make a move. He's going to, oh, that's Vesey. That's gone very wrong, and he needs to hand that position back very much. He's just knocked Failed UX off massively there.
He's got damage on his front wing as well, and M9H Racing dropped to, or Failed UX dropped all the way to the back. He almost did not make it through Saint Devotee. He's got damage on his front wing as well. That was definitely a very messy overtake from Kersey, but he is up into 13th position. But now with that damage on the front wing, he's only missing an end plate, but it's definitely going to affect him. Last night we saw that having an effect of almost a second per lap.
Yeah, unfortunately, it all just went wrong for Kersey there. I mean, looking back at it, as we see Frike defending from Damaso, he just tried a little bit too hard and wasn't fully along, tried to send it straight up the inside. You cannot do that at Monaco. There's no runoff, there's no chance to push the driver out wide. Another track, he would have gone wide and hit the runoff, but in this case, it just ended up badly. Two cars connecting. Could be a racing incident, but I'd say hand it back just to be sure.
KGB and 007. Oh, somebody's in the pits. It's Kersey. Yeah, Kersey is into the pits. He's probably going to change his front wing there. Now the question is he going to go on a hard tire or is he going to go on soft? What is he going to do there? Failed UX, 5 seconds for speeding into the pits.
You don't want that on lap 3 as well. Sector 3, he's retired. He's retired now, so Failed UX will not race. Will not continue after lap 1. After lap 4. Is that going to be a safety car? It has often caused safety cars before, seeing that flip-flop, almost flip-flopping over the back of the rear wing of W there into Lowe's.
It is still very close here. There's a massive train of cars that is led by GTR Line, and then we've got W Flip-Flop, Fike, Damaso, and Z-Grease very close to each other. Z-Grease is actually falling back by a couple of seconds now. But this is a nice little train going on here. Nobody is getting quite close enough to make any major moves. Seafreeze is now broken outside of the DRS zone of Tasmanian Devil. He's clearing him by about a couple of tenths a lap right now, so working out pretty well at the start there for Seafreeze. Even though he lost that lead, he retook it very, very quickly again. Now looking here at KGB Black Angel, yet not going to be close enough on this occasion either. Is Flip-Flop Fish going to be close enough to W? He is not.
I've just seen Damaso has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings of cutting the track. Unfortunately, unfortunately I got all choked up there. Ooh. Unfortunately, that's going to affect the Mexican this time round.
Flip-Flop Fish and W are starting to put on some real pressure on GTR Lion here, and GTR Lion is starting to lose time to Mick Marcotti in front of him, so he's sort of the cork in the bottle right now that is holding all of these cars up, but he's doing just enough to stay ahead of everyone, and we'll see how long that's going to last. We saw last night that some people might just pick a moment to make a big move, and that could happen at any moment. Also, this is a track that I personally have to say requires 110% focus. There's no other track on the calendar where you have to focus for this long and this hard, and I think that just means that somebody is bound to make a mistake at some point, and that could change the race completely. So we're only on lap 6, 33 more laps to go here in Monaco. JB, tell us about your impressions with the race so far.
I think we saw that frustration already hit when we saw Kersey at the inside of Failed UX, but we'll leave that incident now. But yeah, it's already gapping. I think we're going to see a lot more when it comes to pit stops later on, but again, you're seeing the curse of Monaco right now, that drivers can't get through. Look at Professional. He's clearly faster than Go-To Guy at this moment, and Black Angel is definitely wanting to show, but he's struggling right now to even have a chance. The two Mercedes-powered cars are trying their hardest, but it seems the Ferrari just has the better run right now. Remember, Go-To Guy is going to be heading to pit lane very soon. What's the predicted lap time, do we think?
We saw last night people pitting around lap 8 or 9 and going both onto a medium and onto a hard.
Almost going into the back of Flip-Flop there.
The projected pit strategy that was shown to us at the start of the race was saying that you can go onto a medium around lap 11 or 12 and make it until the end. but we have a lot of people already running on the medium tire at the start of the race. So for those guys, it's going to be...
Oh, it's Damaso. Something's happened. I think Damaso made contact. Damaso into pit lane. And look at the race director now and check.
Yeah, I think Seagrease is definitely changing his front wing, so is Damaso, so they might have come.
Contact in pit lane, but this will help out Kersey, who's on the hard compound of tyres. He's going to overtake the both of them, back up into P13. That's 2 more positions he just doesn't have to overtake, and he's going to be driving incredibly frustrated in this race. And that's the one thing you don't want to do at Monaco, is drive when you're upset.
Absolutely not. There's nothing worse than that, and this is a very frustrating track, or it can be if you're not having a good day around here. Watching as Fike is trying to fight for the last point on the grid right now with Flip-Flop Fish. He's closing in on him very quickly. But JB, one question that I had, I mean...
Oh, Fish made a mistake.
Yeah, I just saw that there, but I was gonna say... you know, I personally don't like starting races on a medium tire because the only 2 options you have to go on is a hard or a soft if you can pull it off. So the drivers that did start on this medium here tonight, what are they going to be doing? What sort of a compound do you go on?
I think they'll tend to try and stretch it until they can get the soft compound if they can. If there's a safety car, which could happen soon, with 3 drivers battling as close as they are right now, Fike up the inside of Fish, I think getting close to Fish. There's a chance of safety car, and that will help out the medium runners to go towards the softs. But whatever happens, this race already is turning into one of the best in a long time, with the looming charge of Kersey, and then the battle for the lead, which is just re-emerging. Tasmanian Devil getting closer and closer to Seabreeze up the inside, considering it, does the Mercedes driver, but he chooses not to.
And what do you think this is down to? Oh, Damaso has just retired in the pits, but what do you think this gap that just came down from over a second to just about a couple of tenths, is that down to Seafreeze starting to lose that traction in those soft tires compared to Tasmanian with his medium?
Well, I've been on board with Tasmanian for a few laps now. The rear end of Seafreeze is looking mighty twitchy. He's got some amazing traction out the corners, but in high speed he's very much struggling. I think the tyres are starting to wear now on the AlphaTauri. Oh, pit, go-to guy.
So go-to guy is the first one from those soft runners to jump into the pits on lap 7 a little bit early. I would imagine he goes onto a hard.
Yeah, go-to guy has been confirmed to have a hard on.
And Tasmanian Devil still pushing on Seafreeze, trying to find some sort of an opportunity to make a move somewhere. He's pretty much touching the back of the car there through the hairpin, and I think Seafreeze, he's gonna, I'm not sure what's better, holding up Tasmanian Devil for a couple more laps and trying to push those soft tires, or pitting off of them, releasing Tasmanian Devil, and then just coming back with much better pace.
Well, Seafreeze doesn't care about Tasmanian Devil. Right now he's on the school run, he's got the kids in the back, he doesn't care, he's driving his own race. Tasmanian Devil is that guy trying to get to work and trying to get through past the school run. He just can't do it. Seafreeze is just running his own race. I think he'll stay out a little bit longer, he won't pit this time round. What Devil's doing though, all the lockups, all the aggressive moving there, as Fish gets a time penalty there. All the aggressive moving he's doing, he's just wearing his tyres more. And yes, these like setting up for dive bombs and diving inside, they're cute, but they're not going anywhere. So yeah, it's
Tasmanian Devil's thinking about it. Up Massenet, Seafreeze goes a little bit wide, but not enough space there for Tasmanian Devil to make a move just yet. Is he gonna think about diving down here? No, not yet. But Seafreeze locking up a lot. Oh yeah.
That's not a lockup of I broke late, that's a lockup of I've got no grip.
Yeah, that looked like a lockup on all 4 wheels at the same time. There was smoke coming off from everywhere. So Seafreeze, I mean, if there's one track where you're allowed to have problems on your tires and losing grip, and you can not lose. Oh,
inside line, he's gone for it. This is late. That was a half-ass move, and it bit you back.
Yeah, and he touched that inside curb as we've seen in qualifying. I think it was Go-To Guy or M9H Racing that touched that. But now look at that time that he's lost back to Chatty Duck. Chatty Duck is now within 1.5 seconds. Seafreeze is now 6 seconds ahead.
If I was Seafreeze, I'd pit. I'd pit now, but he chooses not to. See, what Tasmanian Devil did there, he got himself overly confident with the brakes. He was playing around, and that was a very half-assed attempt. See, what I mean about the setting up for dive bombs and saying it's cute, yeah, I'm going for a dive bomb. As we look at Black Angel trying to go around the outside of Professional. I can see that fourth in a minute. He's going to try and do it. He is going to do it, and a great bit of racing there as Professional does let him through. But just to finish my point, Devil he was setting up for dive bombs. He was being cute. He was like, yeah, I can do it. It's sort of like dancing around, and you know how boxers will laugh at their opponent just to try and suck them out there, but he was doing that. Unfortunately, what he did there, he tripped up over his own feet and made himself look a bit of a fool because he tried to go for a move that really wasn't there. Not his own fault, it's just the mentality he got himself in there. Now he's humbled, he's going to have to keep his nose clean for the rest of the race if he wants a chance of winning this.
And here's another battle that's really heating up right now. Fike and Flip Flop Fish now battling for 7th position. Fike was thinking about a move around the outside there of Mirabeau, but didn't quite work out for him. Flip Flop Fish almost grazing the outside wall through the hairpin. This is getting very close between those two. They're going into the tunnel now. Fike has a really good run. He's gaining more time. He's gaining just a tiny little bit. He's going to think about diving. No, he is not. He's not going to make that same mistake that we just saw from Tasmanian Devil. Seafreeze is into the pits now.
Big slide from Fike on the rear end. Look at how much this battle has slowed up Go-To Guy. When he came out of the pit lane, he had a 4.5 second gap to Kersey. Kersey's right on his rear wing now. He wants to get through. This is the points now for Kersey. He wants to be there. DRS open on the next couple of corners. These drivers are going to be fighting all over the place. Fish, pits, and now the release for the drivers behind him. DRS opened on all 3 cars. There's not going to be a move yet, but Go-To Guy wants to make a move, and the pit window opens here in Monaco.
Absolutely, this is a brilliant battle to watch right now between Kersey, Go-To Guy, and Fike. All of them battling extremely closely. Wow. Oh my goodness, their Go-To Guy. Why would you try to do that? At least it didn't turn out to be a massive incident, but he lost a couple of tenths there.
Go to the medical center, that was.
Now Kersey has closed up on the back of both of these cars now, but that was such a beautiful moment when he had those 4 people racing into Rascasse. Absolutely unbelievable, and this is why I love this track so much. Nowhere else are you gonna see that short of a pit lane entry, that tight of a corner, and so many cars trying to make it through there. Now Go-To Guy, no, touching the back there. Kersey touching the back of Go-To Guy as well, and Go-To Guy almost smashed into Fike. That was very close between those two drivers. Kersey now is smelling the blood in the water. He's thinking about making his move around Go-To Guy any minute now. He's on a pretty good strategy right now with that hard tire to try and overtake a lot of people in the pits, but he needs to make his way through Go-To Guy as soon as possible.
I think he's going to struggle. I think he's definitely going to struggle. In all the years I commented on TCR, and now that was the rare occasion I commented on TCR, but he's going to struggle. Go-To Guy, whoa, this is going to be very interesting if he can make the move up here into Casino. Wow, did Go-To Guy let him through?
Either way, that was a beautiful and ambitious move from Kersey, but it worked out for him on that occasion, and up into 7th place he goes right now. He's got Fike in front of him on a set of medium tires. Fike has had those mediums for the whole race now, and he's still doing pretty well on them, but Kersey feels like he might have the pace, and he definitely looks like he's got the pace, almost crashing into the outside wall of Portier.
No damage reported on the on the Alpha Tauri's front wing. But he's going to be under pressure now from the Alfa Romeo all-in car.
So we are on lap 14 of 39, still 25 laps to go here in Monaco in round 11 of the Platinum class in season 10 of TCR. Everybody who's watching, you guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Leave us a like, leave us a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and let us know who you guys are rooting for in this race. It looks like Kersey is getting closer and closer to Fike now. He's going to make a move into turn 1, into the St. Devote corner.
He's done it again. He's done it again. That's twice. Just badging his way through, and
I don't know, I gotta say, Fike didn't really leave a gap there at all, so he had to make his move wherever he could. W now overtaking M98 Racing, who's ghosting, so he is up into 9th place as well. Now Go-To Guy is gonna be right behind Fike, and he's gonna have to make a move just like Kersey did just a couple of moments ago.
Fike has a time penalty of 3 seconds, so I mean, obviously this early, we're not going to say your drivers should be staying behind each other. God, no, we're not going to say that. No, again, it's personal opinion. I think that the bumping and bashing that's getting it right now, it seems like drivers are just forgetting about leaving anyone room for any corner right now. Then again, we haven't seen many overtakes so far. There is a chance of an overtake, though, from between Seafreeze and Mick, who just received a time penalty. Seafreeze is on the medium compounded tyre, so he's going to do another pit stop this race. Do you think he's going to pit for another set of mediums?
I'm not sure, actually, to be honest with you. I did 28 laps on the medium tire, and there he goes down the inside. Not enough space there on that particular occasion. Is he going to think about going? Nope. The hairpin, I feel like the hairpin this year is much tighter than it used to be on other games.
Oh, the hairpin's tight as well. Oh god, that was contact with the wall there for Seafreeze. Unfortunately, the man from New York making contact with it. No damage reported again on the AlphaTauri. Yeah, it's tight, as this game is much more realistic when it comes to it. The cars are this is how many times I've said it. The cars are too wide for this track. The cars are too wide in Formula 1 in general now. They just can't get close to each other. So they're throwing off so much disturbed air. For goodness sake, give us back the 2009 cars. We want those cars again.
So watching this battle here between Go-To-Guy and Fike. Fike overshoots the corner into the Devel chicane, gets a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. But Go-To-Guy managing to make it through the corner, but he can't make it through FYKV.
That's rude from Seafreeze. I think it must be the AlphaTauri today, because he gave a good slap on the front right to Mick as he came through, and Mick locked up. Oh, that was rude.
Fike there touching the wall through Raskas, and now they're into St. Deveau again. Oh my goodness, touching each other. Fike there slowing down a little bit too much from what Go-To-Guy was expecting, but Go-To-Guy is still managing to keep the car together. No damage on the front wing, but he's got to get past this car as soon as possible. Out in the lead is Tasmanian Devil, still running on the medium tires that he started this race on. He's been on them for 15, almost 16 laps now. KGB Black Angel in second, 3 seconds behind. 007, 7 seconds, almost 8 seconds behind in third place. And Seafreeze is attacking every single lap on 007, trying to make his way through as soon as possible, because he needs to close up that gap on Tasmanian Devil. Once Tasmanian finally pits, that's going to release Seafreeze to build out a good gap, and then if he has enough of a gap, he might be able to pit again. But I am thinking, I have a feeling he might be pushing these tires until the end of the race.
Aggressive moves now. We have a three-way battle for 7th position between W, Go-To-Guy, and Fike. Fike, obviously, with a couple of time penalties, so we were realistic he's going to struggle in that race. I think we'll keep an eye on the AlphaTauri Racing Point battle of Seafreeze versus Professional, heading towards the Nouvelle chicane, because they're going to be so close. It's all based on traction out of Portier, and I do think that Seafreeze is going to have it this time round. Ooh, initial power though. Looking at Professional, yeah, he's just pulling a gap there. So through that, look at the amount of lockup stains on the track there. So the driver's all locking up. I think Seafreeze has got it in the third sector. He's much quicker than Professional. Professional has it where it counts in the second sector, where the only real overtaking opportunity is into Nouvelle.
We've also seen a couple of overtake opportunities or attempts into turn 1 by Kersey. He made it work, although with some damage and some tangles. There goes Seafreeze. Nope, not quite enough space on the outside there. Is he going to have the traction into the run-up Massenet? He is. He's going to go around the outside into Casino here. Let's see if that's going to work out for him. Not quite close enough. 007 doing a very good job of defending there.
Fike in trouble, Fike into pit lane. I love how you mentioned Kersey's name once and he gets a 3-second time penalty. That's something I'd do. Whatever happened to Secret? That is a question that we all want to know, isn't it? Yeah,
he never started the race here tonight, and that is definitely going to hurt his his championship lead a little bit. I mean, he's a little bit lucky though as well, because Kersey did not have a great qualifying in Q2 and got knocked out of that session, did not proceed to Q3, so that really hurt his chances of winning the race, but he might still end up on the podium, you never really know. So that gap between Kersey and Sequid right now is only 22 points. That's not a big gap at all with 5 more rounds to go in the season.
C3's on professional now, trying to make a move up the inside. He can't get it close. The initial poke of that Mercedes engine in the back of the Aston Martin, sorry, the Racing Point is brilliant, but off a corner, it's just impossible there. And I think Professional just unfortunately not able to defend for C3, so he lets him go. I think Professional might be pitted in this time round.
Seafreeze back up into the podium places now, into 3rd place. He's got a couple of cars in front of him of KGB, Black Angel, and Tasmanian Devil, but both of those cars have not pitted from their starting tires yet, so they will need to make that pit stop pretty soon. Now, looking at the gap between Seafreeze and Tasmanian Devil, it's only about 11 seconds right now, so that means once Tasmanian Devil does pit, Seafreeze is going to be about 16 seconds ahead. If he can then try and build out a gap, or if he just keeps that gap until the end and he keeps those tires working, he might be able to make it. It looks like Flip Flop Fish just made an overtake there on M9H Racing before the entry into Maribor.
He went through the ghost this far. Remember, M9's not racing in this race.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, M9H Racing unfortunately had some internet issues right after we joined the session, right into Q1, and was not able to make it to the race. So that is unfortunate for him. 007 is into the pits now.
As predicted by the old man in the commentary booth.
And the closest fight we've got going on right now is W and GoToGuy fighting for 7th place. GoToGuy very, very wide into Raskas, almost hitting the wall there. But W is not doing much better on his medium tires either. He was taking it real slow through there as well. He's also turned off his DRS before he actually hit the braking zone. That was weird.
So Sequit is actually watching the stream. Hello, Sequit. So he's watching the stream because work is more important, which is true. Everything in the world, in the real world, takes precedence over virtual racing. As much as we pretend that virtual racing is our lives, for some of us, unfortunately, work gets in the way, and that's why I've been so far away from TCR for the last most of the season. I've unfortunately been working so much.
Yeah, and in these times right now as well, you really can't give up work. A lot of people right now are struggling to even have a day of work in their schedule, so I think we cannot take that for granted at all, especially in these hard times. I really hope everybody who's watching is well and healthy and really making it through these times. Hopefully we will be back to normal pretty soon, but honestly, as it's looking right now, that doesn't seem to be in the near future. I've been working from home since March, and yeah, my job is not, like, my office is not coming back to work anytime soon. But back to the race here. We're on lap 21 of 39. We still got a little bit to go. Seagrease just gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings here. I'm still watching. Two guys also caught up to Mick Marcotti in front of him, who just came out of the pits.
Yeah, so very difficult situation going on in this race now. Unfortunately, we're seeing the effect of Monaco, where drivers are stuck behind each other and thus gaps are forming everywhere. 2 drivers out of this race. It's Failed UX, who decided not to continue, and Damaso, who I believe also decided not to continue with this race in pit lane. And then obviously we have M9, who did not take the start of the race. We will just chat motor racing, to be honest. If there are too many gaps on track, well, we'll just chat and things, have a little catch up. I've got a coffee. I don't know if anyone else has.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if you have anything you want to chat about. It looks like Seagrease crashed. Somebody just saying in the comments there that Seagrease had a crash, but we did not see that. But he is at the back of the grid in 14th place, so he's not having the best of races right now.
He's a safety car. Ooh, was I going through puberty there? Oh, that's something I haven't done for a while. I think we'll see double pit this time round. I think he's having enough of his tyres. He's sliding around the track. The number 19 M9's Ghost is pitting, so this is a projected time to pit. It's also handy to have a Ghost in the track. So it's terrible for drivers, but great because you have an idea of when to pit. He's got the pit window open. He chooses not to pit though.
So Seafreeze right now is he's closed in that gap by a lot. He is only about 8 seconds behind Tasmanian Devil right now and 1.6 seconds behind Black Angel. Funnily enough, the gap between himself and Black Angel is not really closing up by too much, but the overall gap to Tasmanian Devil, it looks like Tasmanian is actually losing the time here at the moment.
I think he's overdriving the car. His car is on low, a third of ERS has been used. He's sort of dancing around the 40% mark. His fuel is marginal. I think the Mercedes is going to have to pit at some point today. He's still going for fast laps. He needs to just relax the car a little bit. He's already had one spin. He doesn't need to overdrive it as he comes up to lap drivers.
Yeah, he was very impressive to recover from that spin that he had there in the Nouvelle chicane just about 10 laps ago or so when he was battling very closely with Seafreeze. That allowed Seafreeze to get away by quite a few seconds there. But Tasmanian Devil now making it through the last corner and continuing on for another lap, not deciding to pit. Black Angel still staying within that 1.6, 1.5 second gap. Seafreeze closing in to Black Angel. Another second or so gone on that last lap.
Can I draw your attention to P10 right now? We have a battle that's under a second between Flip Flop Fish and GTR Lion. They're going to look for have some fun sooner rather than later. Remember, younger tyres, actually same age tyres, different compounds of tyres between the two of these guys. So Lion's Raw versus the Fish's Flop.
Yeah, this one's going to be very interesting to watch. Mr. Sensation was calling Flip Flop Fish all kinds of different nicknames in last season. I think he called him just the Fish and the Whale, the Shark, and everything else like that.
If he was Australian, he'd be the Thong Fish. There you go.
So Chatty, or sorry, I was gonna say Flip Flop Fish is still putting on some pressure on GTR Line. GTR Line very wide through Casino. Is this gonna be the chance now? Flip Flop Fish pushing down the inside into Maribou and making it stick through there just about, making a tiny bit of contact with GTR Lion, but he is through now for P9.
That was a fantastic move. That has been move of the day so far. That was brilliant.
So lap 25 of 39, still quite a bit to go. This is one of the longest races on the calendar. We actually did 39 laps last week as well in Australia, but I feel like in Australia, just because it's a much quicker lap around there, not in terms of like time overall, but just it feels quicker. It just feels like that race goes by right away, whereas here in Monaco, it definitely takes a while. So now GTR Line is dropping by over a second behind Flip Flop Fish. So let's go back to the front here. Seafreeze is catching up to Black Angel. He's within 2.7 seconds now. Black Angel starting to drop some time to Tasmanian Devil. Tasmanian making it through the pool section right now. A little bit wobbly. The car is definitely starting to step out on him. Is he gonna go into the pits finally? Nope, not on this lap. He's continuing on for lap 25 on a medium set of tires. I mean, in the normal race, they would never last that long.
I think he's making a mistake here. I think he should have pitted a long time ago. He's going to be behind Seafreeze, and he's going to be more in the clutches now of Kersey, and that's a driver you do not want to overtake. And Kersey can make the tyres last. He can go on as much as he can. So you don't want to try and overtake him in this race where he's already shown that he's a bit robust with the overtaking. Imagine him defending.
This is starting to heat up now. Anything can still happen. Of course, it's Monaco. A single mistake could bring out a safety car. Somebody could have a battle that goes wrong. You never really know what could still happen. But right now, Tasmanian Devil is out there in the lead of this race with a 1.7 gap to 1.7 second gap to KGB Black Angel, who has Seafreeze behind them, and just over a second gap there. But Kersey 13 seconds behind Seafreeze in 4th place on 22 lap old hards. And if we're seeing Tasmanian Devil and KGB Black Angel taking mediums for over 25 laps, they're about to go on lap 26 now. How long can you take a hard around here? Like 30, 32 laps?
There are jokes in there that I could make that would get me told off, so I'm not going to make them. But he is, yeah, the hard compound tire is definitely pushing on as hard as they can. I do still think that racing-wise, Devil is making a huge mistake here. Yes, I think he's pushing now to try and go for the soft tires. Oh, crash! Is it a crash or is it a slow-moving driver? Oh, driver getting out of the way in the form of Fike. I still think that racing-wise he's making a mistake. He can push towards the soft tyres, but he will overdrive the car again to try and catch up to Seafreeze, who will eventually inherit the lead of the race at this point, and to pass Kersey. And that's when mistakes happen, and he'll overuse the tyres. I really think he's made a mistake.
And KGB now is closing up that gap. He's only a second behind. He was 1.7 behind on the last lap. Oh, there's a touch there. Tasmanian Devil just touched the wall. He's got damage now.
Huge damage. That's it.
As you called it, it was 1 lap too late. If he would have gone in on the last lap, this possibly wouldn't have happened. So now KGB is going to continue on for another lap. He does not have any sort of damage. Oh. Tasmanian is into the pits. Seafreeze is now within DRS zone of Black Angel.
He is definitely going to be behind Kersey now. If he had pitted, he possibly could have been ahead. This was a huge miscalculation by the Mercedes team.
There goes Kersey, and he might even lose the position to 007, or he might be very close on the exit. 007 making it through the last corner now. Yeah, he's going to keep that position, but this is definitely a disaster for Tasmanian Devil. Lost the position to Kersey, as well as lost some front wing, so definitely lost additional time in the pits.
He's young, he's new to racing from what I understand, or he's relatively new to the no assist range. It's easily done, and on worn tyres you cannot blame him for that situation. Just wanted to go as long as possible, and that's okay. To just, if you feel good, that's fine. Just made a bit of a mistake there. You can't blame anyone else, and hopefully he understands that and he'll just take it on the chin. It's a hard lesson to learn, but we all had to.
So now I think Seafreeze is just gonna play it smart and wait until Black Angel is gonna go into the pits. No need to risk anything. There goes Black Angel into the pits now. He's probably gonna go for a soft tire just like Tasmanian Devil did. Where is he gonna come out? Is he gonna be able to keep 3rd position from Kersey? Or I mean from Tasmanian Devil? We'll have to wait and see. We have a yellow flag in sector 1. There's a crash.
Seagrass. Huge crash. Safety car deployed.
Safety car on lap 29, and Seagrease has a massive damage. KGB Black Angel. KGB is going to keep 3rd from Tasmanian Devil.
That has all gone wrong within 2 laps.
Now, what do you do if you're Kersey in this situation? Are you going to stay out there and keep the position?
No, I pit if I was Kersey. Immediately now, pit now for softs, because you are now going to be Seafreeze's best friend. Both drivers have got a big enough gap. They both pit, go onto soft tyres if they have them, or fresh mediums, get into pit lane, get out. They have gaps. They can do it. They might lose Kersey will definitely lose a position to Black Angel, but yeah, the AlphaTauris will very much likely pit, and they are quicker. They are quicker than both Black Angel and Tasmanian, so they will want to overtake them on track if they have to. Driver into pit lane. No, Seafreeze continues.
Nope, he continues on, but I was going to say...
Alright, make me wrong then.
The safety car with 10 laps to go, that's just added some nice chili spice into this whole race. It's just... And now they're all going to be super close on the restart, which in Monaco sometimes spells trouble.
I'm on the race director right now. Hello from Race to Control. And yeah, Seagrass completely rear-ended Frike, which caused a terminal damage. I fully expect Frike to be taken down to the stewards.
While you're in the race director, do you want to check out the penalties as well? Let us know who's still running with penalties to their names.
So we have 5-second penalty of failed UX, but that's already over. We have Tomato with a 3-second time penalty, that's 1. Go-to guy with a 3-second time penalty. Fish with a time penalty of 3 seconds. Frike is out the race. Mick with a time penalty. Frike also has a 5-second penalty, so that's 8 seconds on his time to the Finnish driver. 3 seconds to Kersey, so Kersey is going to be in trouble in this race. Chatty Duck also with 3-second penalties. And Seagrest with a 3-second penalty. And
oh
one
my
from the
goodness!
stewards.
Tasmanian Devil just disconnected!
Has he disconnected, or is he sat in the? Is he sat in pit lane?
No,
is he sat in race director?
No, he's just disconnected. Said left the session, so that usually means that he has had an internet problem and he might have disconnected from the session. I really hope he can get it back in there because we're still on the safety car and we will be probably for another couple of laps.
No.
Chatty Duck
disqualified
from the race from 11th place.
Where is he? Was he? He was parked up, trying to let the safety car through or something, but yeah, don't do that.
Oh my god.
Ignoring yellow flag. So no, he was trying to overtake. He was trying to overtake drivers. You don't do that. Yeah.
I think he was overtaking before we got the message that cars can overtake, and that has hurt him there.
Well, unless he can prove otherwise, there's no way about it, but he'll be reinstated in the final position if he did. But Tasmanian has got a fair few laps to reinstate himself, but yeah, controversy in Monaco.
I really hope that Tasmanian Devil can make it back into the race here. We've only got a few more laps to go under safety car right now on lap 39 of 39, and Tasmanian Devil disconnecting there right just a few moments ago. That is so unfortunate. I've been in that situation before, and there's very little you can do. If he's got another invite, maybe he can make it back in, but that is just so unfortunate at this stage of the race.
I'm going to try something again. Yeah, Tasmanian, no, what's it called? Just confirming that drivers cannot overtake under safety car in the Formula 1 game, so they just have to overtake in general.
No, we do usually get that message where you can overtake and the green light lights up on the safety car, but I don't think that happened this time around, and that hurt Chatty there, unfortunately. So safety car is still leading us around. We did not get any messages for it coming back in, so we're gonna do another lap under the safety car. That means we're only gonna have about 6 laps of racing to do at the restart in Monaco, with everybody super close together on a restart with possibly lapped cars in between you and cars in front of you. That's gonna be very interesting to watch.
Come on. Oh, I have my keyboard plugged in and everything. I really hope that's him. So I hopefully have just sent an invite to Tasmanian Devil.
Come on, Taz, join back in. You can do it. You still have about half a lap to go here until the safety car possibly comes back in. We still don't even know if that's going to happen, but we'll find out when we go through to back into the start of the 3rd sector. That's usually when you get that message. This is a good time to take a look at position changes. So
someone completely different.
So Kersey has risen himself up from the dead pretty much, starting in 14th, now running in 2nd. KGB Black Angel is in 3rd after having started in 7th. Tasmanian Devil, TCR 007, Mick Marcotti, and Go-To Guy have all lost positions from where they started, but Flip Flop Fish has gained 1, M9H Racing and Z-Grease both gained 4 positions, but that is due to DNFs below them. Safety car will be in on this lap. We will be getting back to racing here. Let's get ready for only about 6 more laps of Monaco, but those are going to be very exciting laps here indeed. And there's Taz, he has joined back.
Oh, good. I think Black Angel with a 5-second time penalty for severe collision with Kersey.
This is definitely going to hurt him now, and we go back to racing in just a second here. Seafreeze is taking it nice and slow on the restart, but he's back, wobbling around to try and get some heat into the tires. We're watching on board with KGB Black Angel as they go into turn 1. and Kersey and Seafreeze. Kersey gets a really good run actually up the hill right now. Seafreeze still moving around to try and get some heat into those tires. Now these two are teammates, and now I'm wondering...
Black Angel's back. He's back in the car.
I'm wondering if Kersey is going to possibly try to go for a move here on Seafreeze. They are teammates, but Kersey is higher up in the championship standings right now. He's much closer to make a challenge on Sequit.
Chatty Duck just confirming in the chat here, he thought he could overtake. That's a very rookie mistake. He'll have to, yeah, another thing he'll have to take on the chin. Black Angel, he's got to be careful here, and oh, this could be, oh no, that's more penalties for the drivers. They're all filtering through, doesn't seem to be any more collisions there, as we're looking at Tasmanian Devil under pressure. Oh no, he's been passed by the race, has he? No, he hasn't passed the racing point, my apologies, losing position on track. Kersey is seriously in trouble with his tyres, maybe he should have pitted. Oh, Black Angel trying to move into Raskas, could not make the move stick.
Definitely, that was too close for comfort there. Now Kersey gets a bad run out of the last corner. KGB's thinking about going around the outside. Kersey keeping the inside line, doing the switchback now. KGB up into second place. What a beautiful move there.
Fantastic move there. And what can Kersey do? Because his tyres are absolutely cream crackered. And now Tasmanian Devil want a point to prove they're up the inside, looking for podium points. He's going to be bumping, he's going to be bashing the side-by-side into the casino hairpin. Oh, are they going to Ragnar for it? No. Oh, that's aggressive. And that is, oh, that could go to the stewards if Kersey decided to.
Kersey losing 2 positions there in a matter of half a lap. KGB Black Angel and Tasmanian Devil. Now he's thinking about coming back at Tasmanian into the Novell chicane. Not quite close enough on that occasion. Black Angel now putting some ridiculously big pressure on Seafreeze. With only 5 laps to go, we're actually coming to only 4 laps to go here in just a moment. Seafreeze almost tapping the wall on the outside there of the swimming pool section. I think Seafreeze is really struggling on those tires. KGB has a really good run out of the last corner with the DRS, with no DRS, sorry, with ERS enabled though. Oh, there's a touch. He was thinking about going around the outside and wasn't quite close enough.
Drivers putting heavy pressure on. Remember, Black Angel has time penalties. He's got an 8-second time penalty to his name. He's gonna be in trouble. If Seafreeze hears that on the radio, he's gonna say, right, get through, I can stay with you.
Further back, there's also a fight between go-to guy Migmar Cody and 007. They're all very close to each other as they're coming into the hairpin corner now and almost touching each other's rear ends there. KGB Black Angel on Seafreeze with overtake enabled, down to 3% of VRS left. He's using everything he's got, but it's not quite close enough just yet. Seafreeze doing a beautiful job of keeping that position. He's fighting with everything he has.
I'm trying to think if there's any way that Black Angel can win this race with his penalties inbound, apart from if he, oh no, not if you do that. Again, he's driving very aggressively, he's driving way too aggressively, he's overdriving the car. DRS open, he's not going to be able to do that if you're double locking up into every corner.
Tasmanian Devil also overdriving the car there a little bit out of the last corner, almost lost it, had to keep it together. Seagrease gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings there, but this fight for the lead, for the win of this Monaco Grand Prix, it is heating up every single second now. It is down to Seafreeze, Black Angel, and Tasmanian Devil fighting it out between the 3 of them. Super close, touching each other pretty much through the hairpin there, getting a nice little shot from the back of Tasmanian Devil, or Black Angel's car on Tasmanian Devil through Portier and into the tunnel. What a shot this is.
Got to make a move here if he's going to try and stick it. It's not close enough. He can try and unsettle him, but it's not going to work. Mr. Cool in front. Haven't said that in a while. He is just absolutely soaking up the pressure like a sponge in a bath. He has no chance at trying to do it. W is going to try and make a move on Fish, and that's gone wrong for him.
Tasmanian Devil into Raskas.
It's an move. That's going to affect
no!
Oh, that's silly.
Into Anthony Nogue, he tried to go down the inside. He touched Black Angel and smashed himself into the wall there, so I'm sure he's got some damage and he's lost the position to Kersey now.
W into pit lane with front wing damage. As I mentioned, frustration is the biggest killer of this track, and you saw Tasmanian Devil getting frustrated and trying at the inside. Again, this is a track that bites back if you don't respect it, and there you saw Tasmanian Devil twice in this race has not respected the track.
So now it's only down to Black Angel in the last couple of laps here to try and make a move on Seafreeze. This is getting absolutely astonishingly exciting because Seafreeze, can he hold on to it for the last couple of laps? Can Black Angel make some sort of a move here? He has no DRS left. He does have the DRS, but it's pretty much useless here with the one zone on the start, finish straight. Can't really do much there. He's got a really good run right now. We have a yellow in sector 2.
The Renault of Seagrass getting out the way of everyone, which is kind of pointless space to do that because you're just causing everyone to have to slow up. Just on that though, it is going to be an AlphaTauri 1-2 with the time penalties in effect. Devil might get back if he's okay with time penalties at the moment. Let me check.
We're on to lap 38 now. Only a couple more laps to go here. KGB is trying everything he can, but it's just not enough. As you called him, Mr. Cool up in front. Seafreeze leading this race still at this point right now. Also looking at this nice little battle going on between Mick Marcotti and 007 for 5th position. Mick Marcotti is on a different tire strategy and a different compound, much younger than 007. But again, it's just so hard to overtake around here.
Tasmanian Devil has got no time penalties to his name from what I can see. So he is in the frame for a podium. At a track where, really, I don't know if he deserves a podium. That sounds really rude, but at the same time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he's had a couple of incidents here when he was overtaking cars into turn 1 that resulted in damage for a couple of cars, and he's just recently had another incident there with Black Angel, so it might be reviewed by the stewards. It's not our place to really make that decision, but I definitely understand where you're coming from. We're about to start the last lap of this Grand Prix. KGB Black Angel has a really good run into turn 1 now. Seafreeze managing to keep it together. Black Angel using all of his ERS, everything he's got, up into Massenet and into Casino. Seafreeze a little bit wobbly there, but not enough space for KGB to make any move. Now just a few more corners left to go here, only about half a lap. Is there anywhere else that KGB Black Angel can make a move on Seafreeze? He's pretty much touching the back of him here through everywhere. He does have penalties to his name, so I'm not sure this is even gonna matter, but it's still really fun to watch. It would be incredible if he can make a move here in the last few corners. He's not close enough into the Nouvelle chicane.
He's trying everything. That could have ended in him hitting the barrier there. W with the fastest lap of the race right at the end. He's looking for it through to back for the final time. Seafreeze definitely wanted to show what he can do. He can win at this track. He had pole position. Is he going to be the man to take the win here in Monaco, to deny his teammate a hat-trick of wins? He's got one more corner to go. It's very obvious it will be that. AlphaTauri victorious, all bumping and bashing from the Williams though. And that's it. Seafreeze wins in Monaco. Tasmanian Devil, you know what? I tell you what, Taz, mate, if you hadn't have crashed there, a professional into second place, if you hadn't have crashed there, Taz, you would have been in second place. Yeah, right on the pit straight, he was crashing on the pit straight. If you hadn't have done that, you would have been in second place. Oh dear.
So there we go. Seafreeze wins the race with 007 in second. KGB Black Angel in third. Kersey only good enough for fourth there. Tasmanian Devil fifth, but he was running in podium for a very long time until he made that incident with KGB Black Angel. Mick Marcotti gets sixth place. Go to Guy seventh. GTR Lion in eighth. Flip Flop Fish in ninth. And W steals the last point on the grid here today. We did have a few DNFs. We'll run through all of the results here again, but wow, what a Grand Prix with that late safety car, with all of the incidents, with some really nice overtaking maneuvers that we saw here tonight. Absolutely incredible from our Platinum class drivers. But it's Seafreeze, the three-time TCR champion, is a winner here today in Monaco. So JB, your return after a long time away from TCR to this race here tonight. Tell us about it. How are you feeling after that one?
Perplexed is the words I'd used. Without penalties, I'm still... I'm a little bit irked that Tasmanian, if he hadn't have... drivers, when they get frustrated and they like hit the pit wall at the end of the race because they're upset with what happened. If he hadn't have done that, he would have been in P2. So, lesson learnt there. Don't try and crash after that. Amazing battling. I think the stewards might be a little bit busy, but relatively, it's Monaco. It's always going to be a bit boring, and that happened. But at the same time, it was a good race. I think cleanly won in the end. That's what I'll say.
All right, so JB, if you can invite Seafreeze, 007, and KGB Black Angel into the party here, and we will try.
I don't want to.
And we will try and hear from them after this incredible race and the post-race interviews, because I would really love to hear their opinions on how things went. Especially, I want to hear from Seafreeze in regards to that start there, losing the lead and then getting it back again. That was very exciting. And overall, I think it was a great Grand Prix to watch. Monaco is always entertaining just because of how unpredictable it is. There's just anything can happen at any moment. We saw a very late safety car here. We saw some incidents. We saw a lot of different overtake maneuvers that were just absolutely incredible. And yeah, now JB has left the party for some reason. So we just have to wait for him to rejoin. And then we'll try to get our podium finishers into here to hear from them as well. So AlphaTauri is victorious here tonight with Seafreeze. I think I might have to invite the drivers myself here. Give me one quick moment, guys. Alright, bear with me here, guys. I'm just gonna go ahead and invite our podium finishers, and we will be right back onto the stream in just a second. Alright, so I've got all of them invited. Now we're just waiting for them to join into the session, and we will talk to our podium finishers. So as a reminder again, that will be Seafreeze, 007, and KGB Black Angel. So KGB is already with us here. Let's just give our other drivers a couple more moments. I'm not sure what happened to JB. There's JB, he's back.
So, when you work 5 days a week and they do a PlayStation update and you never really read the patch notes? Yeah, don't do that.
Well, at least you're back with us, and I do see that we've got some of our drivers with us here as well. So I guess let's start off with the driver in P3, if I'm not mistaken. That was 007, am I right?
I finished P2, I think it was KGB P3.
Okay, so KGB P3. KGB, are you with us here?
Yes, I am.
Alright, well, congratulations on a very impressive drive there. P3 after a very tough race. Tell us about it from your perspective. How did it go?
Quali wasn't too bad. Qualified 7th. And in the beginning of the race, I underfueled the car quite a bit. My goal was to try to make the mediums last. And when I got in the softs, just push like hell. And as soon as I put my fresh set of softs on, the safety car came out, which was like a, oh my god, I might have a chance of winning this. But unfortunately, I got a couple penalties, but P3 is still good.
JB, your questions for KGB Black Angel.
So throughout that race you battled hard. Do you feel like at any point you were overdriving the car? If so, at what points? And second part to that question, you were involved with a few collisions with Kersey himself, and under the safety car you also made contact with him. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, so right when the safety car was about to go back in the pits, I was right behind Kersey, and he just slammed on the brakes. Thankfully, I didn't get damage, but I still got that penalty, which impacted my race grade a huge amount.
So will we be taking that to the stewards, do you think?
Definitely.
Okay.
All right, well, congratulations on P3. Let's see if the steers are going to have anything to say about that incident. But moving on now to 007 in second place. A very impressive drive from you. Also, where did you qualify?
I have no idea. I think P3 or yeah, P3. I think
Nice.
on the medium tire. So that was it was already a great start to the race.
And was that pretty much the strategy to go on the medium and try to push that as far as possible and then go on the soft?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, quali was just make it to Q2 and then run the medium tire for a few laps because that tire could go pretty much any distance. And the hard tire was a really good consistent tire, so the strategy kind of played itself out. I know Seafreeze did the alternate strategy, doing a medium to soft, I think, or I don't know, something. But yeah, congrats to Seafreeze on winning the race. A really good drive from him, and also congrats to KGB. Good to see him on the podium too. But yeah, overall good race, and just because of the penalties, that's why I'm here. So I think it would have been P4, P5.
And how hard was it to get the car together in qualifying, especially with the interchanging conditions? We saw quite a few drivers struggling. What was it like for you?
It was definitely a struggle. I didn't get a lot of practice except for about an hour before today, or an hour today before the race, and that was pretty much it. So considering that, I'm really happy with the way I drove in quali. Did not expect to qualify that high, but the changeable conditions were really fun. Every lap it just felt faster. You could really try to find grip. It's obviously not the real thing, like what we saw in Austria earlier this season, but it was still fun nonetheless, especially around a track like Monaco.
And JB, your questions?
Why is your helmet not pink? I mean, it's the general rule, is it not?
For racing, yeah, I guess I'm not a true employee driver. I would need my dad to hire me to the team.
Now, apart from that, you had a pretty lonely race in a way, but you had an event for one at the same time. You sort of battled with everyone and then no one at the same time. Do you think would you have wished for more battling in that race?
To be honest, I felt like I battled a lot. I battled Seafreeze, I think, like twice, and we went side by side up to Massenet, and that was pretty fun. Game of who can break the latest. But then I had Mick Marcotti on the back of me for the last 10-15 laps, and that was a little stressful because I knew he was catching me. I was on the hard tire, and it just wasn't fast. It was consistent, but wasn't fast, and he put a lot of pressure, and just try not to make a mistake. It looks easy from the outside, but once you're actually in the car and driving around with somebody literally on your rear end the entire time, you just try not to miss a braking point and try to hit every apex.
Oh, of course.
Congratulations again, P2 for you. Good gain of a few points as well. Gonna boost you up in that midfield battle in the championship. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Alright, so moving on to the man of the hour here, the man of the hour and a half that we've had of racing and qualifying around the Monaco Grand Prix here. It was a great performance for you in qualifying. You pulled out that lap in Q3 exactly when it mattered the most. And then at the start of the race though, you got overtaken there by Tasmanian Devil right off the bat and then re-overtook him again in the Nouvelle chicane. So tell us about that first lap.
Yeah, firstly, it's good to be back, Blin. It's good to be back, JB. It's good to be back in the podium. It's been a long time. But yeah, I don't know. It was good. I knew I had a chance coming in this week. We had a few people. If the top runners were here and contending, I don't think I would have been able for the win. But the quality was good, the race was good. A few iffy moments, and I love this track, so it all fell into place, I guess.
And that first lap, what happened there on corner 1 and then re-overtaking again Nouvelle? How was that?
I got nervous, Blin. I got nervous. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got nervous, and as he got the controller, I'm not gonna pull that car out, but maybe I just did. But the outside he got, and it was, I think, similar to last year when Breezy had P2, and he also was able to get around the outside. I guess that inside line isn't the best, but then I was much quicker. Like, I didn't want Taz to get into a rhythm, and I had to go for it down the tunnel. And at that point, I was a lot quicker. Obviously, on the soils, I felt like I had to do that, but I don't know how his pace is going to be like. And he tried that later on in the race when the mediums started to be quicker than the softs, but I wasn't going to let him do that. And I was already as far right as I could be in the penalty, so maybe that's more in his half. But regardless, it was a good race on both halves, I guess.
JB, your questions for our winner.
So throughout that race, you battled hard with a lot of drivers. Do you think, at what point do you think you were under the most pressure? Two-part question. And when you saw Tasmanian Devil following you throughout the early stages of the race, were you being shaken up by this almost the feigning of dive bombs, the dancing around behind you, or were you just focusing on your own race?
I was focused for the most part. I knew there's only a few opportunities to pass, so as long as you do in some corners, you can kind of get away with being subpar on the rest of the track. And yeah, I was nervous. The only time I was nervous was, I guess, lap 1 and 2 of the safety car reboot. I didn't know if the tires had anything left in them. That's why I opted for the mediums, try to extend the stint, because I was going to do the hards, and if I had the hards, the tire temps wouldn't have been up to pressure, tire temps and everything. So I don't know, it was tough then, but then after a couple laps, saw KGB his rhythm, and like I said, you just have to be really good in 2 corners of the track for exits, and then the rest is par. So I feel like I did that, and then after the second lap of the safety car, then I was able to get into rhythm, and the last lap was a little nervous for it too. Last lap as well, but it was all good. It was good fun, man. I liked Monaco, so it was fun.
Someone's got to.
Can I just maybe have a few minutes to kind of say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I know we're pretty long into the stream, but I wanted to take some time to just thank all the officials and the drivers, the commentators, JB and Blin, and the rest of the crew. Not only this season, but from season 1 to now, it's been, a lot of work to get to this point, and I think, everyone's been participating anyway. This would be my 10th season in TCR. It's been 4 years of strictly TCR, 5 of league racing, and all I've done the last 4 to 5 years is F1. Practicing, doing the absolute best I can each week, and not leaving anything on the table. It's been fun, but I'm just want to say that this will be my last season currently, as I'll be stepping away time for next season and potentially more. I don't know what the future will hold, but in the short term, I need, I guess, a reboot to look into some other interests and passions, separate from league racing and separate from racing. I think a reboot would be what I'd be looking for. That doesn't mean stepping away from the owner role. I love that, even though sometimes it's you pull your hair out a little bit. But I think it has been fun for the 10 seasons I've been doing it, and doing it stop, and I can be happy and content with all the racing and fun memories we've had with the whole community. So I know maybe I won't be racing league racing wise full time next season, but I know the relationships throughout the community will always be there, and maybe I won't be playing F1, maybe I'll be playing some other game. I don't know, just to take my mind off a few things. I just want to say also, yeah, I look forward to the new talent coming down the road, the new drivers. I think we've seen this year Platinum, a whole bunch of drivers, KGB included, Taz, Chatty Buck, Kersey in the last couple years, seasons. There's been a lot of new talent. It's like one of the new looking grids in Platinum class. So I look forward to the new talent and what they can do throughout many seasons to come. And I apologize to the newer drivers and everyone, because I feel like my passion for league racing, at least in this moment, has not been at my peak. And I feel like I could have given more to those within, you know, practice-wise, doing more racing and this and that, and I just felt right this season, and like I said, I'm content, and I look forward to the finishing up this season. I look forward, obviously, to see what TCR has in store for the future, and bottom line is, you know, I'm content, and you know, look forward to what TCR has in store.
All right, so some dramatic news there to end off this stream. You just heard it, and just to reiterate there, Seafriz just announced that this will be the last season of him racing in TCR, but that does not mean the end of TCR. We're still here, and as he said, we're very excited about the future of everything that's still to come in this league. But Seafriz, thank you so much for all the warm words, and thank you so much for everything you've done so far for this league. And obviously, without you, without all the efforts that you've put in, we wouldn't be racing here every single week. So massive thank you to you. We really massively appreciate everything you do for us. But we will end it off here on a little bit of a dramatic note, as I said. But yeah, huge thank you to all of our drivers. Huge thank you to Seafreeze. Huge thank you to JB for joining me tonight in the booth. It's been a nice return of you to our league racing and our booth commentary here. How was it from you, and when are you going to be back again?
I think I've got grey hairs again, and I remember now why I stopped doing this, because I got grey hairs from this. Go on, Chris.
Oh, by the way, I got you didn't ask me the question you always ask me.
Oh,
can we do this again one more time?
You want to know
I'll
what
ever
kind of pants you're wearing? Does everyone wants to know it? Because I'm wondering if it's the thong I bought you when I left.
No, today I got you know, we're going grey, very basic, but just for the stream
My
I
hair,
say pink.
You just got my hair.
Great for AlphaTauri. Get ready for AlphaTauri.
Yeah, JB, massive thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure having you alongside. I really hope you'll be back with us soon.
If I get Thursdays off work, yeah.
All right, we'll be glad to have you at any time, but I think that will be it. It's been a really long stream, a long race with full qualifying and with a very long race in Monaco, but it's definitely been a great race to watch, very exciting, great drama. So definitely watch it back if you've missed out on it. Leave us a like, leave us a comment, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the rest of the action here. We'll be back next week on Tuesday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time with the silver class. If I'm not mistaken, we'll be at Abu Dhabi, a nice little racing track there as well. Definitely going to be exciting, so join us then. We will also be back next week with Wednesday Gold and Platinum class. We'll be back on Thursday again at the same time. So from BLIN-MACHINE, from JB, from all of the drivers in the Platinum class, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next week. Have a great weekend.